What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another FPL video. My name is Mo, and today I'm coming back with another video in this FPL series in regards to if you're looking to play a wild card in Game Week 3. This is the video you should stay tuned into because I'll give you guys an insight in terms of if I was to personally play a wild card with my team, what I'd be looking like, what kind of thought process I'm looking at, player injuries, form, fixtures, everything. We'll discuss that in detail, and we'll think about, what potential future strategies we can look at for future game weeks that will be coming in a few weeks' time. But before we get into all that, if you're new around here and you haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button, help us grow this channel. It's absolutely free, and it'll go a long way for you to help build your squad to be successful in this FPL year for your team and your leagues. So, in terms of how I did this week, I got 67 points so far. There is still one game to go, which is the Liverpool versus Crystal Palace game. We're still waiting for the outcome of that game because obviously a lot of players or FPL managers have players from Liverpool or Crystal Palace. So we're expecting the rank to change a fair bit because there might be a few managers that are actually captaining Salah as well. So the rank will change. At the moment, I'm on 908,477, so not bad. Happy to be there in the top 10% at the moment. As the game is growing, we're about 9 million managers plus now, so it's growing, it's getting more competitive, and we'll look forward to see how we do better in the next coming week. So let's just say with this team, if I was to play the wild card this week for game week 3, and the changes I'd make, I'll show you guys what my team would look like and what change to formation I will have, because at the moment this season I've played 4-4-2. I'll show you guys the players I'm bringing in and what formation I'll be playing as well. So let's get stuck into it, guys. So the team would look like the following. In goal, I'd have Ward and Raya, so I'd have two playing goalkeepers. I know Ward is 4 million, but I'd rather have Raya as well because I want some extra comfort. I don't really do rotating keepers, but in this situation, I would fully back Raya in most situations because I think he's that good. Personally, I don't want to play Ward as my number one keeper, so in this draft, I'm fortunate enough to have two keepers that are both playing. So if there is any chance of injury or rotation, at least my goalkeeper spot is nailed from two different teams as well. But I've never been a fan of a situation where you have to rotate goalkeepers because I just believe that you should back one keeper and just wish for the best after that. We then have a back line of 5, so I will have 5 playing defenders in this lineup. So Gabriel from Arsenal, he's already in my lineup, so I haven't changed him at all. Reece James will remain, so I haven't changed him either. Trent as well. So these are the 3 main defenders from my lineup at the moment. But the only difference in this lineup is I've taken out, obviously, Edison from goal, and I've brought Diaz in as my third Man City option in defence. So we can look at Man City's fixtures for the coming weeks, as you guys can see. In terms of fixtures, not too bad. Newcastle away, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa. Tottenham is a tough game, and then Wolves, Manchester United and Southampton. So a relatively good run of fixtures, and I do want to target 3 players that I believe will play regular minutes for Manchester City. And Ruben Dias, he's one of those kind of like nailed on kind of players that will play. Obviously, considering the injuries that are at present happening with, Laporte and John Stones, it's vital that, Diaz, if fit, he will play pretty much every single minute of the game weeks because there's no midweek games at the moment for Man City. So it's a really good chance for us to target fixtures for Manchester City. And then Cancelo will remain as well. So in the back line, the only player that I have changed in like this kind of wildcard draft, if I was to play it, would actually be Diaz himself. And then we can move on to the midfield. So you've got Martinelli, 6.1 mil, and we can talk about the Arsenal fixtures now because I've got Jesus up front as well. He's done extremely well so far. 16 points from 2 games, got a return in each game with bonus points as well. But the fixtures still continue to look good for Arsenal. So Bournemouth away, Fulham at home and Aston Villa at home. And then Manchester United currently how they're playing at the moment. I know I'm wearing their shirt, but it shouldn't be a tough prospect if they don't improve by that game week. And then Everton, Brentford, and then obviously the North London derby in game week 9. So I've literally stayed with 3 Arsenal players at the moment, and I'm looking to really take advantage of that if I was to play a wild card, because then I've got every sector covered with Arsenal coverage. So Martinelli will stay. I won't go for Saka in this draft either because I know he hasn't got any returns so far, but there will be a time where he will start getting returns, and maybe Martinelli might be one of the players in terms of points which will be sacrificed. So he might not get the returns that he's getting right now because they'll move over to Saka or Jesus, vice versa. It can depend, but to say Saka will continue this run of no returns, it's not going to happen. There will be a moment where he catches some kind of form. Fixtures looking good as well, so Saka will be back. But as far as if I was to play it this game week, I will still stick with Martinelli, because I think he's just in such good form with fixtures coming up. It'll be a no-brainer for me to, just keep him in and not take him out of my squad. Salah will remain and probably be captain for most game weeks. So far, 12 points from his first game. As I mentioned, still yet to play Crystal Palace tomorrow. And then what we can see is, I think he should get a good return as well in terms of Crystal Palace. But there's a rumour going around that Salah has never done well or got a return in game week 2. Records are there to be broken. There was always this myth about Harry Kane not scoring in August, but guess what? He actually gets some decent points in August, barring last season where he was benched. Actually, no, he was dropped for the first game and then benched for the second and came on, as a sub appearance. So let's keep this in mind. Manchester United, I don't think that's a red fixture. It should be pretty much grey 3 maximum. And then Bournemouth, Newcastle, Everton. So I want to keep, obviously, coverage from Liverpool in there. So I've got Trent and I've got Salah as well. And he would probably be my captain going into the Manchester United fixture. Now, Andre Pereira is in my squad, as you know, so I'm not going to be taking him out anyway. It's a 75% chance of him playing. I think he should be fine. So far, he's looked good in terms of his performances, but hasn't had any returns. There are some difficult fixtures coming up with Arsenal, Tottenham, and Chelsea in the next 3 out of 5 fixtures. But it's one of those, squad enabler players that even if he was at 5.5, I still probably would think of bringing him into my squad. But I think, there's a real good chance that he'll get some really quality minutes and he will get chances to finish. So for me, in terms of Pereira, for that price rise, that price range, I'd say, not rise because he hasn't risen in price yet. The price range is a good option to have, even if you need to play with him on the bench. And then for 5.5 mil, originally I have Neto, but I'm thinking, if I'm looking to move away from Neto and look at alternative players, Fornells is someone I talked about pre-season. 4 points so far, so no returns. He started both games, but he's got Brighton, Aston Villa, Tottenham, Chelsea in the next couple of game weeks. But then they have a really good run from game week 8 to 11 as well. So potential minutes there, some returns possible, and it's just an alternative option to Neto or Bailey, which, the common trend has been at the start of this season. And then another 4.5 midfielder that I brought in is Harrison Reed. Again, this player that I've just put into the squad is basically just for like squad player or, not even rotation. I'm not considering to play him. He'll be literally, one of the players on the bench week in, week out for 4.5 mil. No specific reason of picking him. He's played 2 game weeks, 90 minutes each. I've seen him previously for Fulham in previous seasons. He's got 3 assists in one of the campaign. So why not, give him a chance. Players like Fabio da Silva have already gone up in price when I'm making this video to 4.6, so he's out of my affordability. But put him in as a squad rotation player, so he'll never play, but be on the bench, and if needed, he can be called upon. And he'll play probably pretty decent minutes for Fulham as well. And then we can move up front. We've already discussed about Arsenal fixtures, so Jesus will stay, an absolute mammoth 19 points this game week, 2 goals and 2 assists in the last game. So great returns for people who've kept faith with him. The ownership started about 76% in game week 1. It went down to about 70% this game week, but it's gone back up to 72.5. I actually feel sorry for all those managers that moved away from Jesus to Mitrovic. Mitrovic got a -1, plus 19 for Jesus, and obviously if they're taking a hit as well, that's a swing of 20 plus or more points that could have been if they'd stuck and not knee-jerked on Jesus himself. The next forward is Haaland. Not really much to say about him as a player. Unlucky. Foden should have squared it to him and it could have got a goal with an assist as well. I feel for those managers who actually played their triple captain chip, but he got 70 odd minutes again, looked good, looked sharp, didn't really get the service that he was looking for. I think De Bruyne got a bit greedy halfway through the second half, could have passed the ball to him, but took some shots from long distance, probably trying to get some more returns or goals for himself. But I think there's a lot more to come from Haaland. He got that absolute mammoth score in the first game week of 13 points. But Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, we've talked about these fixtures already for City. I just think he will continue to score. Whether I captain him or not in this game week is yet to be seen. I think I'll probably favour Salah playing Manchester United and the defence that they have. But Haaland overall does look like a good acquisition to the squad, and he will remain. And then I've brought in Ivan Toney from Brentford. Generally, I've rated him since last season. Already 3 returns with 1 goal and 2 assists. I appreciate he played Leicester and Manchester United, who aren't in the best of forms, but the fixture-wise, look at that greenery that's over there on here. Only 6.5% owned, so a good differential. And he's on penalties as well. Fulham, Everton, Palace, Leeds, Southampton, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Brighton. And even after the Chelsea game, look at the greenery continue all the way till Man City in game week 16. So for me, you know, if I was to wildcard, Ivan Toney is someone I'd definitely be considering. And in terms of this draft, I know I've played 4-4-2 so far in the 2 game weeks. I'd actually have a different combination of potential formations I can play. So I could even play with this one. I could go 5 at the back, you know, and then I could play, if I want to play in midfield, I could play 2. So I could play Martinelli, Salah, and then play 3 strikers. So I've never played a 5-2-3 in my career in FPL, but that's something with this draft I can do. And I'll be fairly happy with that, to be fair, because I've got a real good 5 players at the front that have a real attacking assist and 5 players at the back that also give an attacking and clean sheet threat as well. But then if I want to change it around, let's say one of the defenders has a difficult fixture, like let's say, for example, I don't want to play Reece James. I could play 4 at the back. I could play either one of the 3 midfielders of Andreas, Fornals or Reed, depending on their fixture, and I could go 4-3-3 if I want to. So that's the flexibility that I have with this draft. I actually do like this draft, and I don't want to play a wild card yet personally, but I believe that if I were to play it this game week, this pretty much would be the squad I'd be looking for, because I've got a lot of coverage in the defence, a nice spread in midfield, not too much investment there, but I've got a real good forward line, because I feel that the value at the moment, as the season has started, has not really been much in the midfield. It's been up front or the defence. So it'll be making sense if for us to invest heavily within those areas, because I feel that that's where we're going to get the most return. The 8 million midfielders, they've been hit and miss. No one's actually really stood out as of yet of who we should target and who we shouldn't, because at the moment it's just mostly the defensive players who are giving us returns, or the forward line in terms of Jesus, Haaland, and even Kane this week. I know that goal for me personally was an own goal for Reece James, but they gave it to Kane, but they're delivering the goods, guys. So that's where I've kind of thought of this kind of draft being the most perfect draft for me if I was to activate my wild card for this game week. So let me know what your thoughts are, guys. That's what it would look like. So potential 5-2-3 or a 4-3-3, depending upon who has what fixtures and how I want to rotate in terms of the players I have on the outfield. All these players are starting players for all their squads, or will get most minutes. So maybe Fornals might not get as many starts as the others here, but I generally believe he'll get more starts than places on the bench. So I believe that it's a really good draft to have in terms of coverage on the bench and outfield players being guaranteed more minutes than most in their squad. So let me know what your thoughts are, guys. This is the wildcard draft. Let me know, are these players that you're thinking of? I know people might be thinking, why isn't there Cucurella, Koulibaly? Unfortunately, you know, the way I've seen this squad, I don't want to invest too heavily in the Chelsea defence either. I know they have good fixtures, but I just feel that the players that I've selected, there's a reason behind it. And it's not always right to go template-ish. It's sometimes good to go away from the template. And this is the kind of like vision I've had in terms of my team and what kind of acquisitions I can add to make it a better team to get better points. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, guys. Hit the like button if you like this video, and also do not get to subscribe. Please hit that subscribe button. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Hit that subscribe button, help us grow, and let me know what your thoughts are. Best of luck for Game Week 3, guys. This is one of your special videos that I do in a week, which is around the wild card, if not free hit, or a bench boost advice. But at the moment, everyone's talking about wild card, and that's the kind of most requests I got during my live stream. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon with some more content. Have a good day.